maiden speech, Andrew Pace.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. It's a privilege to make my maiden speech with you in the Speaker's chair. And thank you for giving me this opportunity. And to be able to follow such wonderful maiden speeches, particularly those by my honourable friend, honourable member for Chichester. I'd like to pay tribute to her and her mother. I'd also like to pay tribute to some of the other, to follow the first ever Labour MP for Southend West and Lee, and to pay tribute to my good friend from East Renfrewshire for bowing out of the competition with Peterborough over which is the most beautiful constituency between us. I can think of no more important debate to be speaking in my maiden speech than one which is about securing our economic stability in order for my city and this country to flourish. As the gateway to the Fens, the home of food and farming, Peterborough is willing to play its part in rebuilding our country. Madam Deputy Speaker, it turns out I am the 5th MP for Peterborough in 7 years. We had 3 in 2019 alone. So I hope to bring some of the much heralded stability that the front bench talks about on this side to the tenure of being a local MP. And I pay tribute to my predecessors, all of whom have cared deeply about our city and worked hard to be a voice for our needs on the national stage. It turns out I also have some illustrious predecessors, and I feel I may be letting down my constituents. It's fitting during the Olympics to pay tribute to David Cecil, who entered Parliament having won a gold medal already at the 1928 Olympics. I look forward to talking about my egg and spoon race at school. I'd also like to thank my immediate predecessor, Paul Bristow, and his staff for the incredible hard work they paid looking after residents in need in our city. I'm proud to be part of the largest intake of cooperative MPs in Parliament's history. Cooperative and community values run deep in Peterborough. I am the second Labour and cooperative MP to serve our city, the first being my predecessor, Stanley Tiffany, who was elected in another significant change election in 1945. I noted that Tiffany's first question in the House of Commons in August 1945 was on affordable and rural housing to the then Minister of Health and Housing, Nye Bevan. The answer was that housing was a priority for the incoming Labour government of 1945. 80 years later, that challenge remained, and I am pleased to see affordable housing will be one of the priorities of this Labour government coming into power in 2024. Tiffany's roots are in the Peterborough and District Cooperative Society, and I'm incredibly proud to have been elected alongside colleagues on this side of the House on a pledge to double the size of the cooperative economy, a pledge Tiffany could be proud of. Just a few weeks ago, I met staff at the Co-op store in Peterborough to hear about the rise in shoplifting and the abuse too many of them face. Madam Deputy Speaker, abuse should never be part of the job. And I would like to put on record my thanks to retail workers in Peterborough and around the country who serve us every day. Yeah. And I give this pledge to work tirelessly with my good friends in the cooperative movement, the trade unions and in this House to give retail workers the dignity and protection at work they need. We're also home to the wonderful English Mustard Growers Cooperative, which was formed in 2009 to keep mustard production alive in the UK after the disastrous harvest of 2007. To many of you here, you will know our crop as Coleman's mustard. Today, there are over 40 growing members, including our very own Michael Sly, based at Park Farm in Forney. Madam Deputy Speaker, in Peterborough, we really do cut the mustard. Peterborough has welcomed people from across the country and world for generations as a city, even more so when we became a new town. I am one of those people who have chosen to make Peterborough my home. The new town promise of a decent home, a good job and a great place to live remain as important today as ever. It is a promise that was frayed over the last 14 years. Peterborough is a working city with a rich history. We work hard, care for our community and love our country. We are deeply rooted in the industrial heritage of food, farming and engineering. We are home to a breathtaking cathedral, majestic mosques, an urban landscape surrounded by the fens and poet John Clare's country. We exemplify Clare's words. I found the poems in the fields and only wrote them down. We're at the heart of sugar beet country, home of British sugar. We show how urban and rural can live successfully side by side. We have a rich history and a bright future for food and farming. And I'd like to thank the farming community and my good friends in the National Farmers Union for their advice and friendship. I will always, in my time in this House, be a champion for food security and how we grow more food in this country. We draw on our engineering heritage in Perkins Engines, Caterpillar and Peter Brotherhood, and can use that heritage to create new high-skilled jobs and apprenticeships for the future. We are home to a new and growing university campus in ARU Peterborough and a new centre for green technology at Peterborough College, working to transition blue-collar to green-collar opportunities in hydrogen, electric vehicles and sustainable construction. We bring a rich diversity of communities and languages and traditions, from the Italians who arrived after the Second World War, Eastern Europeans and a large Kashmiri and Pakistani community. And visiting Azad Kashmir last year with friends from Peterborough remains a highlight of my life. The beauty of that land and its people impress upon me the need to speak up on Kashmir in this House. Yeah. But we also face challenges. Nearly half of the children in my constituency are growing up in poverty. In some areas, it is even more. For working class parents like mine, the promise was that by working hard, your children could get on. Madam Deputy Speaker, the greatest nobility I have known is working class pride. The pride in good work, in seeing your children succeed, in the ability to get on in life. That social contract has been broken and we are all the poorer for it. So I'd like to put on my record the love and gratitude for my parents for instilling in me that pride and for pushing me to do more. I believe they are watching on telly today, unless I think I'm up against Tom Daley and the diving. I'd also like to thank the trade union movement I've grown up in and been part of for my whole life, for giving me the skills, opportunities and confidence to stand for election and now to stand here in this House making this speech. I have had the immense privilege these last few years to serve as Deputy General Secretary of Prospect and Bet2 and to serve internationally as one of the trade union delegates to the OECD's AI expert panel, adding my voice on international issues. The trade union movement makes Britain a better place. Yeah. The thousands of voluntary contributions of workplace volunteers every single day keep people safe at work, help people get on at work and add to our economic wealth. I am proud to be union made. Yeah. And I'd like to finish with this point. One of the things that drove me to stand for election this time was the sad passing of my brother in 2016. Richard's sudden passing from an accident followed by sepsis was tragic, but it also brought home to me this, that my family were only able to get through it with the help and care of NHS staff who looked after my brother and my family. Now, sepsis is something this House has learnt more about recently due to the bravery of the former member for South Thanet, and I pay tribute to him. Yeah. The NHS and our public servants are the best of us, and I give this commitment in the House today that I will use whatever time I have in this place to champion the NHS, but also to champion awareness over the dangers and terrors of sepsis and what it does to people and their families. So, Madam Deputy Speaker, Peterborough stands ready to play our part in rebuilding our country. We have drive, dedication and purpose. And with a government on our side, we look forward to driving opportunities in Peterborough and around the country.
Yeah. I look forward to seeing his campaigns on behalf of his brother Richard.